Hello YouTubers, today I want to show you a nice piece. You see it? You see it? You see it? Okay. I have no footage of it making it, but I'm gonna make a short review about it. I think it turned out extremely nice and it's an awesome piece. It's sharp as hell. That's because of the steel. The blade steel is a Böhler M390. It's a spectacular steel, never had anything this tough. It has about 60 to 61 HRC, which is pretty high and pretty good. It's absolute stainless, completely rust proof, this steel. The guard is made out of titanium and blued, as you see. I welded it together here. I got 10mm round pieces and the 5mm flat piece. So I made a notch into the round pieces, shoved them onto the flat one and welded them together. Next I put the whole thing on the lathe and turned the guard. So it gets a slightly rounding here, and I could make the form of these titanium blocks as I want them and fitting perfectly to the balls. These balls are made from cow bone, shin bone. And as you see, I glued two pieces together because I did not found a piece thick enough to get a 20mm ball out of it. And here also the same, but here you can't see the glue seam because the bone is really nice, having the same color and same structure overall. Very slightly see the glue line, but only very slightly, as I say. And this piece, the handle, it's made from Asterix shin leg also. It is one solid bone. And the inside it has a hole from about 18mm to about 12mm, and I filled it completely with epoxy resin. Just let it cure, and so I had something filled in, and then I carved out the whole thing. These notches I made on my lathe as the piece was round, and then I flattened it out so it has an oval shape. Flattened it out, and then I reground these notches. And as you see here, the notch is the shallowest, this is the middle one, and this is the deepest one. It's very grippy, this knife, because bone is always pretty sticky to the hands and very grippy when you have sweaty hands and wet hands overall. And the skull itself, I guess, is made out of deer antler, but I'm quite not sure because I bought this one. I'm not able to carve such beautiful things because I'm not very good at carving. I'm just good at making and that's why I buy things like this and fit them onto the knife. The tang goes completely through the whole handle, and as you see here is a security pin of titanium, and the tang goes up until here, about, I would say, 1.5 to almost 2 centimeters into the skull completely. And I ground some notches into the tang so the skull would not fall away, and the notch in the skull is slightly going open, so the glue will get a cone shape and is not able to come out, and that makes it hold up very nicely. It's not perfectly aligned, the skull is turned slightly to the right, but yeah, that's how it is. It's the only issue I can find at this knife, and maybe the ball line, but I could make a new ball because they're only threaded onto here. As you see here for the tip on the lathe, there's the hole where I centered it and held it up, and the other side I hold it on the chucks. I turned on 6mm nuts and clamped the nuts in the chuck and turned over the whole thing with about 10 degrees of an angle here and here, so worked out pretty nice. First I wanted to forge this piece out of one solid piece, but I decided to better make it the mechanical way with welding it together, and it was way more easy. and stayed straight a lot better than anything else. So that's just a simple review. This oxidation layer on this steel, as I said, the Böhler M390, it's horrible. It's really horrible. You grind over it with the grinding paper 2 times, it's dull, completely dull and glossy. This surface, it's extremely thin because we hardened in a vacuum oven or in a gas oven with inert gas. That makes the oxide layer very thin, but even this thin layer is horrible to grind off. So I needed triple the grinding paper from the Böhler N690 I would have needed on this steel, just because of its oxide layer. It's the micro clean. It's just an awesome, durable, extreme steel. I'll show you a little bit how it cuts, how it performs. Just some simple cardboard piece, hollow, pretty thin, just to show you. How sharp it is. Some bit thicker cardboard tubing. Show you how clean the cuts are. Just an awesome steel, and I have to say, paper is really ugly stuff. I almost made some very tiny scratches into the steel, but really extreme tiny. They're almost invisible. I guess you won't see them, but it's just paper. I hate it. To cut, it's just horrible. Cardboard and paper dulls every blade pretty good, but not this steel. Too tough. If you want me to cut some tatami mats with it, just leave me a comment below, or tell me what I can cut else with my knives, and I will maybe do it. So, hope you like this little video. Hope you like my knife. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos, and thanks for watching.